There is more to Transformers than first appears. The essence of these robots in disguise is encapsulated in this lyric from the Transformers theme song. Transformers began as a Hasbro, shape-shifting toy brand in the 1980s and went on to become a successful film franchise. The Transformers was a 1984 television series that came before the live-action film series. The 1986 animated film, The Transformers, the movie, drew inspiration from this. Now, Transformers 1 is getting released. What do we know about the movie Transformers 1? The last animated Transformers movie was produced approximately 40 years ago. Transformers 1, the next animated film in the franchise, will surely bring back memories for anyone who watched the original animated picture when they were younger. The animation Transformers 1 will broaden the Transformers franchise in addition to the live-action film series, narrating Cybertron's genesis story and the relationship between Optimus Prime and his adversary, Megatron. Josh Cooley, the writer of Toy Story 4, and screenwriters Andrew Barrer and Gabrielle Ferrari from Transformers Shared World Writers Room will co-write and direct the film. Based on the information that has been released, Transformers 1 will feel extremely different from the previous films in the franchise. Despite being in production, a lot of information about Transformers 1 has already been publicized thanks to official statements and on-set rumors. Although the plot is most likely kept under wraps, it appears to be heavily influenced by the original plotline that was presented in earlier comic book and television versions. Since Transformers 1 is the first Transformers movie in chronological order, there is a great deal of pressure to give these adored characters an exciting backstory. President of Paramount Animation, Ramsey Naito, teased the animation film Transformers 1, and the most recent update has lots of fresh information. According to the latest information, Transformers 1 will tell the origin story of many of the beloved characters, including the transformation of Optimus Prime and Megatron from close allies to adversaries. In addition, Naito made fun of Cybertron's significance by remarking, "This planet is beautiful, alive, a spectacle, a personality, and a character in itself." The news that Cybertron would be thoroughly explored is exciting, given the planet hasn't received much attention in the live-action Transformers film. Back in 2015, Transformers 1 was first teased as a film that will take viewers on a tour through the pasts of Cybertron, Optimus Prime, and Megatron in a narrative entirely unrelated to the live-action film series. Cooley was brought on board to helm the animated prequel in April 2020. In addition to the release of Transformers 1, Paramount Pictures also revealed that a 9th Transformers film will be released in February 2022, along with the announcement of the 8th film. What about the release date, cast, and story of the movie? Transformers 1 was originally scheduled for release on July 19th, 2024, but Paramount Pictures has subsequently rescheduled the movie for September 12th, 2024. Although the reasons for this alteration are unclear, Transformers Rise of the Beasts' numerous delays most likely had some unintended consequences for the show. Transformers 1 production may have suffered as a result of the movie's evident post-production needs, which exceeded the studio's original projections. There are several well-known faces in the Transformers 1 cast, including some of the most well-liked performers of our time. Since the film is fully animated, a large number of the iconic Transformers have made complete casting changes. Chris Hemsworth from Thor voices Optimus Prime, and Scarlett Johansson, who co-starred with him in the MCU universe, voices Elita, another leader of the Autobot resistance. Following the Super Mario Bros. Movie, Keegan-Michael Key reprises his role as Bumblebee's voice actor. John Hamm also returns to the role of Sentinel Prime. One of the most well-known and enduring Autobots from the Transformers series, Alpha Trion, is also introduced in Transformers 1. Lawrence Fishburne, best known for his appearances in the Matrix franchise as Morpheus, is the voice of this character. On the evil side, Brian Tyree Henry of Atlanta plays a youthful Megatron, who subsequently turns into the show's primary adversary. It is believed that this prequel would examine Optimus Prime and Megatron's complex relationship, possibly from before they were foes. Although most of the Transformer 1's plot is still unknown, what is known about it thus far indicates that it will be a genesis narrative for Cybertron, tracing Optimus Prime and Megatron's relationship as it changes from one of allies to one of foes. Transformers 1 is most likely going to tell a story entirely different from the primary live action, sticking closely to the Autobots' backstories from the source material. Why is the Transformers film franchise so unique in the movie business? Whether you like them or not, Viacom's Transformers movies have left a lasting impression on modern Hollywood history. The film industry has shifted how it produces, releases, and covers movies ever since the first installment in the Robo franchise hit theaters 10 years ago. There are a few ways that the Transformers films have impacted the film landscape like no other movie has in the industry. Hollywood is shown by Transformers that blockbuster toy-to-film adaptations are possible. Prior to the 2007 release of the first Transformers movie, the Care Bears movie from 1985 had made the most money at the box office, taking in $22.9 million. On its first day, Transformers surpassed that. The movie proved that toys might become big screen stars, grossing over $700 million worldwide and $319.2 million in the United States during its domestic run. It was a tremendous hit for Viacom and Paramount. A big budget toy line adaptation hadn't been attempted before, but ever since, it appears like studios are determined to do one. Certain attempts to adapt children's books for the big screen have failed miserably, such as the infamous Battleship in 2012 and Max Steel in 2013. Another reason is that for the first Transformers sequel, Paramount took a risk by releasing the film in June rather than around the 4th of July corridor, when the original film had debuted. Never before had a June release crossed the $100 million mark on its first weekend of release in the history of the business. The third Transformers movie is when the franchise truly took off overseas, even though the prior two movies had done rather well at the foreign box office. Transformers: Dark of the Moon brought $771.4 million overseas and broke records for its first weekend of release in at least 10 foreign markets. Notably, Dark of the Moon brought in $165.1 million from China, a market that was only now starting to provide blockbuster box office results for film studios. With its second largest ever global opening, it revolutionized the way box office figures are reported. Despite coming in $50 million short of its predecessor's domestic total, Dark of the Moon outperformed both of its predecessors internationally, grossing $1.1 billion. In a previous age, the narrative would have focused on the negative domestic comparison to Revenge of the Fallen. Nevertheless, by 2011, the global market had grown to such an extent that it could no longer be overlooked in the headlines. Are you a fan of Transformers? What are your expectations for Transformers 1? Do let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. For more interesting stories and updates, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon for notifications.